Today we're interviewing Robert Moore Hunter. Bob Hunter was born in Coshocton, Ohio on December the 15th, 1921. He entered the Army in 1942 on September the 2nd. He served until his discharge on December 15th, 1945. He was a listed man first as a corporal and then attended officer candidate school and was promoted to a first lieutenant. He served the 85th Infantry, Company B, 338th Infantry Regiment during World War II in North Africa and in Italy. He served in a couple of major campaigns in Italy, and he received the Silver Star, a Purple Heart, Combat Infantryman's Badge, and European Theater Campaign Ribbon. Today, this is December the 13th, 2012, and we are the American Legion Post 43, and we are working with the Library of Congress Veterans History Project, sponsored by the Clifford Thompson American Legion Post 43 and the Miami County Veterans History Project. My name is Bob Shook, assisted by Jeff Gerlach and Paul Holt. Also today we have Bob Hunter's daughter with us, Dr. Jane Rudy, and she will be helping her dad during the interview to make sure we keep track of all the locations where he served. Bob, good to have you here today. Jane, good to have you here today too. Would you please start with where you were born and something about your family and your entrance in the military?
Go ahead.
You're posing that as a question to me?
Yes, sir.
I was born in a little town called Coshocton, Ohio. It goes back a few years ago. That's about all I can say about
Your
it.
father was Robert Hunter,
Yeah, my father was Robert Hunter,
and your mother?
and my mother was Florence Moore Hunter. And I have a sister, Mary, who is a few years older than I am.
What did your dad do?
My dad ran a clothing store. It was called Hunter and Lorenz, or Lorenz Hunter. I don't know which, I forget which it was called now. And
Did he also farm?
he had a farm. I mean, he owned a farm. He didn't do any of the farming. It was leased out.
And he had several brothers who also had businesses in town?
Yeah, I had quite a few brothers and sisters. I don't know the exact amount.
You went to high school there?
Went to high school in Coshocton. Lived in Coshocton all my life.
What was your address, remember?
1518 Walnut Street, Coshocton, Ohio. Which means it was just above 15th Street.
Right. And tell us about when you went to college.
What about when I went to college?
How did you decide to go to college, and where did you go?
I don't know that I did a lot of deciding on that. I went to school down at Miami, in Oxford, Ohio, and that was.
What are your memories there?
Oh, it was great. It was a great school down there in Miami.
What did you study?
Well, it's just sort of a general course in education.
And what was your intention when you got out of college? What were you going to do? Was there a business waiting for you?
Was there a job waiting?
A business? Uh-huh.
I don't think so.
How about the coal business?
Oh, yeah. I had an uncle that was in the coal business. And he had always said that he was going to keep the coal business open for me when I was ready to take it over.
And so you,
Wonderful guy.
and why didn't you do that? Or did you for a while?
Oh, I worked with him for, I don't know how long, not too long. But then I don't remember why did I not?
Because coal went out of people's
Well,
lives?
that's right, people were burning gas.
Right, right,
And the coal business kind of took a back seat.
right. I think that was after you were in the service, though.
Yeah,
But that's why you took business at Miami. Who did you meet at Miami?
who did I meet at Miami?
On Slant Walk.
Oh, I met a friend that later became a real good friend. I'd have to stop and go back and think on that, what all took place there. It was the greatest thing I ever did.
And you were in a fraternity there.
Yeah, Beta Theta Pi,
And remember what she was?
Alpha Omega.
Delta Gamma.
Huh?
Delta Gamma.
Or Delta Gamma, I mean, yeah.
Delta Gamma.
Delta Gamma.
And then, was there a war going on?
Yeah,
Talk about that.
WWII, huh?
Yeah, WI. Say a little bit about that. What you as a college student were thinking about, knowing that this.
What?
What were you thinking about being a student? Did you want to go to the service, or did you want to stay at school?
I don't know that I really had much of any kind of thought on that. I kind of was going along with the flow.
Did your friends begin to get drafted?
Yeah, there was that sort of thing going on. You're missing a buddy every once in a while.
And then did you choose to enlist?
Did I what?
Did you enlist?
Yeah,
What?
I think I enlisted. I got to stop and think about these things.
That's okay. Do you remember talking to your friends or to Mickey about it at all?
About the service?
Yeah, about your decision to go in the service?
Oh, I'm sure those were the discussions that were pretty much up in front all the time.
Mm-hmm.
At that stage of the history of what was going on.
But at that time, there was a lot of honor in serving your country.
Oh, sure. Sure, that would be one of the first things you would be thinking about. Now, what can I do to help?
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm trying to I'm sitting here talking to you and trying to think of just what I did go through in that period of my life.
Yeah, that's what's really interesting.
And you kind of go from one step to another.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm not bringing too much up front because I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember going to get to actually enlist and have your hair cut and take an eye exam and things?
Not really.
Do you
I don't remember too much about that.
How about when you
Those things you just sort of float into.
Right. How about when you took your eye exam in order to be eligible for duty? Remember you had a bad eye then? And you took the eye test and you put your eye like that? Can you say that? Tell that story.
Oh, I just took the same eye, used the same eye for is that what you mean?
Yeah, with a different hand.
With a different hand.
Yeah.
I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to get in.
Well, that was pretty shrewd.
No, I don't think it was shrewd. I think it was just dumb. I'm sure I wouldn't go through it again.
All right. So you get in uniform and you go to Fort Benning. Do you remember being shipped to Fort Benning?
Yeah, I spent a period at Fort Benning, Georgia.
What happened there?
Did I meet somebody there?
No, I think you probably got combat ready there.
Well, that's what it was for. But I don't remember of anything in particular.
Was it difficult? Do you remember thinking this isn't any fun?
Was it fun?
I mean, did you think it was hard?
Oh, it was a military base.
Uh-huh.
You know, they had their certain squads to do, and to do this and do that. You were kept busy.
Did you think that you were pretty fit?
Pretty what?
Fit, physically fit?
Oh, hell, I was A1.
Okay. All right. Did you then become an officer there?
Well, you went to officers training school.
So you were selected out of other,
Yeah, you had to
recruits.
be accepted.
and you took an IQ test, I remember you telling me.
IT.
IQ,
IQ.
yeah.
Oh, we took quite a few tests down there.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember any of them in particular.
Were you glad when you became an officer? Was that
I was
something?
real proud
Good.
that I got through the school. It was
Uh-huh.
a tough school.
Uh-huh. What do you think was toughest about it? Mentally tough or physically tough?
Both.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they kept you very busy at all times, and they taught you an awful lot.
Can you remember anything in particular, like what you learned about your fellow man or about something about yourself? Did you learn that you were...
No, I can't go back and recall too much of anything that went on when I was taking their courses down there.
And you were young.
Well, I guess you'd call it young.
You were 21.
I wasn't quite 21, I don't think.
Uh-huh. Maybe not.
I'm trying to recall.
Well, if you went in 42, you weren't yet 21 then.
I wasn't yet 21, I didn't think I was.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
All right. So then you got into officer training school.
Uh-huh.
You completed that.
Fort Benning.
At Fort Benning. And then do you recall what happened, how you shipped out or flew out, or how did you get over to North Africa?
I just got shipped over there.
You got your orders and got shipped over there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember being frightened or...
Frightened?
Uh-huh.
Probably not realizing it. It seems like things went so fast. There was always something coming up or going down, or it was a part of my life that I really enjoyed.
Uh-huh.
It was, if you want to put the statement of exciting kind of thing,
Oh,
not knowing just what's coming up next. Where am I going to be tomorrow?
yeah.
And time went faster than zoo. It just, next thing you knew, you were overseas.
What did that feel like?
Oh, I don't know, it just moved so fast you didn't have time to get a feeling on it.
Did you remember that there was a lot of camaraderie, like eating and
You mean
being
in
with-
the service?
being with your men all the time, day and night?
Oh, absolutely. Boy, you became very attached.
Mhm.
You got very, very proud of them.
Did you feel like you could rely on any one of them?
There were those that you always had, you looked at twice,
Mhm.
that you kept a double eye on.
That you did as their commander, you wanted to make sure that they were up to,
That was my job.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
When you were in Fort Benning and being shipped, did you communicate with Mickey or home? Would you write letters routinely or?
I'm trying to think, was I married when I went in?
No.
I don't think I was I?
You were not married, uh-uh. She stayed at Miami, and she said all of the good men left Miami.
That was true.
Kleenex. Yeah. That you weren't too worried because all the men were in the service.
Didn't have a worry in the world. There's nobody back there and get her.
Do you remember when you had to say goodbye to her and your mom and dad? Did they come to Fort Benning, or did you have a weekend home or anything?
Oh, you'd get a release. I mean, if you're shipping out, you'd get a week or so off maybe to go back and untie stuff.
Okay. Alrighty?
Huh?
Yeah, Kleenex. Okay, you have Kleenex in your pocket? Yeah.
Yeah, my nose is running.
I'm sorry, yeah.
We're getting some for you.
Okay, good. They're getting some for you. So, Dad, you got shipped over, and you were in. Now you're in North Africa.
Uh-huh.
And how did you get from North Africa to Italy?
Boat.
Took a boat. Uh-huh. And when you got off the boat, was there like a camp that you had to go to in Italy? Thanks.
Oh, yeah, there was bases that you
Bases?
went into,
Uh-huh.
depending on where you were going to be shipped or what you were going to be put into.
Did you see any action before you got to Italy?
No,
Was there anything-
because there wouldn't be any place that's where they were having their war.
Right. And,
I'm having to draw from all, I mean, I don't remember a lot of that stuff.
uh-huh, uh-huh. There is some information here regarding that. And you were in the 85th Infantry?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And
That's
why?
the old Custer Division.
Yeah, why do you call it the Custer Division?
Because General Custer is the one that I was under.
Is that right?
That was the name of the general that was the
It does-
leader of it.
Yeah, it does say here the Custer men, but I didn't know why that was.
Beg pardon?
It does, in this kind of biography, it's called the Custer men, but I didn't realize why that was called that.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
that name Custer goes back a long time.
yeah, I think so,
Indian.
yeah.
I couldn't really give you the history of it right now. I've forgotten all about it.
Uh-huh. So, when you got into Italy, you were then
Scared to death.
scared to death?
Yeah.
What do you think you were most scared of? Getting hit or having to shoot somebody?
Well, I suppose it's a combination of both.
Yeah,
Either getting shot or shooting somebody.
uh-huh. And you were on the ground, and you were in
What do you mean on the ground?
the infantry, you were on the ground,
Oh, yeah.
and you
When
charged,
the infantry gets around.
uh-huh. And you were committed to action at the Materno Castelforte. Does that mean anything to you? You were going to the Gustav line, which is where the
Gustav,
Germans,
yeah, uh-huh.
and you were trying to push them back,
And that was the idea.
push them back.
Get them out of there.
Yeah. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, honey, I don't remember any of it.
Did you,
It's just one of those periods in life that just right by you.
how about when you were actually charging on the hill and you had men behind you and you did get shot?
Well, I don't know what you mean by,
Just talk about that a little.
I don't think I can. I don't remember too much about it. There was always, you're always in a hurry to get this done or that done or get the hell out of there or
Where were you most protected? In your camp, or did you have to go into foxholes, or in forest, or on the other side of a hill?
that's about, you're describing it pretty good. You're chasing her through the woods.
Were you, like, there were a bunch of people that would go at one time and you'd say, charge? Like, would you give the command?
Oh, yeah, you'd have to give that. I mean, depending on what your position was and the unit you were with.
Would you be the one to make that decision for your men?
Yeah, when I was a company commander, and it was my job to do that.
Do you remember actually shooting your way through?
This isn't a pleasant thing for me to talk about, really.
Okay.
I
You
mean,
never once talked about that.
shooting people and
Right, right,
so forth.
right.
It's one of those things you try to get out of your head.
Okay. And then when you got shot, you said you'd never really even felt it. You got shot in your knee.
No, mean, I didn't, at the time that it happened, I guess I must have, because it took my feet out from under me. But, as I say, you get that $1 million wound, and gets you back in the hospital.
Do you remember being in the hospital?
Oh, yeah, I spent a lot of time in the hospital.
What did you think, was that, you got good care, or you just?
Excellent care.
Uh-huh.
That's one thing I would take my hat off to the medical division of this country. They gave you excellent care.
All right, and then did you come back to a VA hospital in the States?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And you spent time there in rehab or doing some?
Do what?
In rehab, getting your leg back?
Well, that was what
being
it
able
would
to
be.
walk
Yeah,
again.
you were able to get up and get released
All right,
from the hospital.
all right. Do you know how much time you were actually in Italy? Was it months or a short time? Or?
No, I couldn't really tell you how long I was
Okay.
in there.
Okay.
It just,
He was in a couple battles.
it's always another day.
Reading from the history that we have here, it was a campaign called Rome Arno campaign. Again, it was against the Gustav Line.
Yeah.
And then Naples Foggy campaign.
And the what?
It's Naples hyphen Foggy, Foggie. Those were the two major campaigns that you, as the 85th Division, were sent over. And I think that you
That's
did.
a little more than I know.
Well, that's just because it's some information that we were able to pick up. But that 338th Division, which is part of the 5th Army, actually was able to move that line way up and fight the Germans back and eventually win Italy.
Yeah, that's was the course.
Uh-huh,
When did he get his medals?
uh-huh. Yes, Dad, you got the Purple Heart. You got the Purple Heart.
Yeah.
What is the Purple Heart awarded for?
All gallantry in action, I guess you'd say.
I think that's the Silver Star, but let's talk about the Purple Heart first of all.
Or getting wounded. When
Yeah.
you get wounded, that's when you get a Purple Heart.
Uh-huh. And the Silver Star, you're right, is for gallantry and service.
Uh-huh.
Why were you awarded that?
Because I was a hell of a good leader.
Okay. With an attitude. Yeah. Yeah. I was able to read some things from the Coshocton paper, your hometown paper, and it told the story a little differently, that after you were wounded, you were on the front line and you refused any medical attention before all of your men were taken care of.
Well, that's what you're supposed to be. You're the leader.
Well, that was quite an honor to get the Silver Star. And I
Well,
think
I
that's a
was very
story
proud of
that your sons and that your children have always held you in highest regard for that.
Well,
You walked the walk and did what you were supposed to.
The what?
You walked the walk
I walked the
under the
walk.
most adverse conditions.
Yeah,
Always have.
yeah. Why don't we talk about something else?
Okay.
Well, talk about when he comes back from the service and how he got, when he was discharged, and a little bit what happened when he was back.
All right. Dad, I know when you came back from the service that you went to what hospital? Did you go to Cleveland Hospital, or did you go to New York right away? If you'll remember that Mickey was
Trying to remember where I did.
she was in New York City. She was working in New York City, and you wanted to go someplace close to her. And I believe you went to a veterans hospital for more.
Isn't that awful? I can't remember where I went.
It's okay. Do you remember when you first saw her, when she came to see you?
Not in detail, no.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I know it was one fine day.
It was one fine day. Did you remember going back to Coshocton then? They got you close to home, where your parents were. Maybe even
You know, you're
Cambridge.
asking these, I don't remember them. I just
okay.
don't remember what
Okay.
I was going through at that period.
Uh-huh. What about,
I guess I was happier than hell to be back.
uh-huh. Do you think then people treated you well when you got back?
Oh, Jesus, you were Mr. Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you did then? Did you still have time to serve in the service? Or when did you get discharged? Did you have to go do some light duty somewhere?
I wasn't discharged right away, I don't think. I'd have to look up notes or something on that. I don't remember just how I
It was
oozed out of it, or
1945, so.
is that when I was released?
Uh-huh.
And I don't remember too much of what happened at that time.
Well, I know you got married in June of 1945.
Well, that's one thing I got done.
Yep. And then you started to work. You started in a career.
You seem to know more about what I did than what I remember.
Okay, well. And here he is at 91 years old.
At 91,
You're 91.
what about 91?
You're 91 years old.
Oh, you mean now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pretty damn good 91.
Is there anything else you'd like to say, how your time in the service influenced your life as you look back on your life?
Oh, I don't know that I really know what it actually had to turn it or move it or things would have been different had there not been a war on and I was not in it. I don't know.
Well, you've always been very patriotic and passed those core values on to your family. You know, you've all been called the greatest generation.
I always did what now?
Your generation has been called the greatest generation, and I think your patriotism is...
Well, I can understand how, you know, that's because it happened, and what would have other persons have done in the same situation, you don't know until you go through it.
Well, I think all of the children of those who served in World War II have a very high regard for your patriotism and love of country.
Which is good.
I know.
It's a good thing that have that
Right.
love of your country.
Well, Bob, I want to tell you, in behalf of the Library of Congress and the Miami County Veterans History Project, the American Legion Post 43, we thank you for your service to your country, and thank you for having your daughter, Dr. Rudy, here with us today to help with your interview. Thanks for being with us.